Mavericks met in Dallas back on January the 20th. A win for the Knicks. It was a clear-cut mismatch at the center position. Patrick Ewing had his way, 15 of 26, 36 points in his 44 minutes, going up against Lorenzo Zoe Williams, a third-year player out of Stetson who did not score in his 32 minutes of play. Earlier, John talked about this with Dallas coach Dick Motta and asked his plans for defending against Ewing tonight.
We'll try to rotate guys on him, and there will eventually be a time when Roy is going to have to guard Patrick tonight. We'll start with Zoe on him, and that should scare Patrick. You know, it's a CBA pickup we have, and he doesn't get a lot of respect from the officials. And if he gets a couple fouls on him, then Roy will come in and take his turn. And then if he wears out, we'll try Donald Hodge and go from there. Our goal is to try to stop the other 4 players as much as we can. We're not going to stop Patrick. We'll try to slow him down a little bit.
A very confident feeling that Dick Motta put forth about his team's ability to handle Patrick Ewing. Talking about Lorenzo, he almost lost control, Marv, laughing about the very thought of that. I suspect, though, in the locker room, the phase changes and it gets more serious. And Dick will call upon many other people to help out on Patrick.
Remember when we were in Dallas, Lorenzo Williams was in the midst of that stretch. He had gone up against David Robinson, who hit 43 points against Dallas, and then Shaquille O'Neal, who went for 42, and then he had to face Patrick Ewing, who had the big game. The Mavericks controlling the opening tip. The officials, Dick Pavetta, Ken Maurer, and Gary Benson. This is Jason Kidd trying to get it down low. Picked off by John Stark. Eric Hoffer made his return to Dallas in that earlier meeting and had only 1 field goal, but did a nice job defensively against Kidd. Here's the double team momentarily against Ewing, who shoots over Williams. And here comes Kidd, NBA Player of the Week last week, beating Mashburn, and he's fouled, cut off by Oakley.
Jason Kidd, who would be a junior in college, has developed so quickly in the NBA, and when the Knicks saw him, Marv, as we were talking about before, he wasn't on his game, didn't feel that well in Dallas against New York, so they didn't get a good look at this young man who's come on much stronger since January.
I mentioned Jason Kidd, the NBA Player of the Week. Since 79-80, the only rookie backcourt man to win that honor. Pretty impressive group. Jason averaged 20 points and 10 assists during the course of the week. The Mavericks have won 6 in a row, 9 of their last 10. And Kidd has had to step it up. Ewing lost it, but it was deflected out. Kidd has really had to add to his game offensively, what with the absence of high-scoring Jim Jackson, sidelined by a sprained left ankle. It was thought he'd be out another 3 weeks. However, now the feeling is, as you see Ewing come up short, kept alive by Bonner. Starks getting it back outside. Now the feeling is that Jackson might even be able to return next week when Dallas will be home for the Lakers on Wednesday. Stark shooting. Air ball. Well, Jose pass. It's a pass to Bonner.
Well, John, that's something to say to the officials. Meanwhile, the Dallas Mavs push the ball up quickly in response to that Bonner hoop, but turn it over.
Game is tied at 2 with a minute and a half gone by. Nice look from Oakley. And it's an offensive foul on Bonner, who's using the elbow to push out. So the ball goes back to Dallas. The other Dallas player who has come on in the absence of Jim Jackson, Popeye Jones, had a solid year, but recently has done the job, particularly off the boards. And the Mavericks are second in the league in rebounding, and they are #1 on the offensive boards in terms of efficiency, while the Knicks have had all kinds of problems rebounding recently. Mavericks 4, Knicks 2.
The Knicks have to pay particular attention to the guards on Dallas, who spend a lot of time rebounding, as Ewing with his great size advantage, comes close but can't can it. Patrick with the size advantage and the ability, of course, much greater than his opponent, Lorenzo Williams, and got to think that he's trying to get as close as he can to the basket and be on his game tonight.
Hopefully behind the back for Starks, unable to hit the three. And the Knicks are now 1 for 7 here at the start. And that's a travel. Now taking a little stroll, but forgot to put the ball on the floor.
Yes, he was a little too casual when he got his hands on that basketball.
And the Dallas Mavericks have turned it over 4 times the first 2.5 minutes. Ewing sets the pick. Williams able to switch off. Oakley. Rebound Ewing. Oakley, yes. And the game is tied at 4. Jason Kidd in the backcourt with Lucius Harris, who had a good one last night on the win over Charlotte. Harris, done by the second-year man out of Long Beach State. Last night, 6 of 9, 15 points against the Hornets. Hopper coming up short on the three-point attempt. Knicks are now 2 of 10 from the field. Mashburn couldn't convert. Here's Popeye Jones for Jamal Mashburn. Average 8 and the Knicks 4.
Well, because of Dallas's turnover problem, they now have equaled their turnovers with field goal attempts, 4-4.
Hopper played by Kidd, and Starks guarded by Harris. Ewing, yes. Patrick Ewing with his first field goal. Mavericks 8 and the Knicks 6. Kidd with a good idea getting it down low to Mashburn, and Mashburn was fouled by Bonner.
Kidd is such an excellent passer, and any teammate of his or anybody who plays with a man who passes like that is encouraged to run, to move, and it's so uplifting for a team when you know you're going to get that kind of pass if you get a half step on your man.
Charles Smith comes on for Anthony Bonner. Jason Kidd, a throwback. He's part of a dying breed, appreciating the lost art of passing the ball. Mashburn, there was a three-point attempt. Popeye Jones able to run it down. Mashburn being played by Smith. Lorenzo Williams for Lucius Harris. Mavericks get back. Hopper pushes it over to Starks. Bottled up. He recovers. Look away from Mashburn. Jason Kidd with a beautiful setup for Jamal Mashburn. The Mavericks 10, the Knicks 6.
You know, Pat Riley hopes his team in a game like this just makes a good percentage of their open shots, and the Knicks are off to a slow start in that department as Ewing turns it over.
And Kidd was blocked.
Rather, that was Charles Smith on that turnover.
Hopper had to step on Mashburn, gave it up to Smith. Mavericks 10 and the Knicks 8. Charles Smith hitting on his first field goal attempt. Dallas Mavericks at 31 and 37. Remember, they got off to the good start, then they faded, and then felt that it was all over in terms of playoff possibilities. That will count as a good dead on Ewing. The Kid gets credit. Jackson went down and looked bleak, but they have turned it up with the 6 straight wins at 9 and 10, and they're only 2 games away from that 8th and final playoff spot in the West. We'll be right back.
As we head into April, there's no secret about the ski areas that are still open. They're the big-time snowmakers, like this one, Sunday River, Maine. Sunday River makes snow as well as anyone, and they're still making it because they plan on staying open into May. Next weekend, Sunday River will host the World Mogul Invitational, where top amateur and pro mogul skiers will join the legends of freestyle in the huge bumps of white heat. Here's a rundown of places to ski in the East this weekend. Seven Springs is the last area open in Pennsylvania, and Holiday Valley is the last in western New York. They plan to stay open until Easter. Ski Windham and Hunter Mountain in the Catskills have decent skiing, as does Jiminy Peak in the Berkshires. Gore and Whiteface in the Adirondacks had a chilly week, which helped, as did Stratton in Vermont. Mount Snow, Bromley, and Ascutney Mountain have a good supply of snow. Mount Snow should be open several more weeks. Killington has a bump contest for snowboarders scheduled Saturday. Okemo has one for skiers. Pico has skiing from its summit. Further north, 4 to 8 inches of snow fell late last week at Stowe, Sugarbush, and Smuggler's Notch. The open runs are still in very good shape here at Sunday River and also at Sugarloaf and Saddleback in Maine. New Hampshire season still has life. Gunstock, Loon, and Waterville Valley did a fine job of snowmaking this year. The skiing out west is phenomenal. You still have a few weeks to head for Steamboat, Taos, or Snowbird. I'm Herb Stevens, the skiing weatherman. My time is up for this season, so enjoy your spring skiing, and I'll see you in November.
Skiing Weatherman is brought to you by your Tri-State GMC truck dealers.
The new Jimmy has all the strength of
assists, averaging 7.5 per game.
Kid on the move a moment ago with a beautiful pass attempt, I should say, and then a nice look away. That was the beauty to finish that play. That look away pass was nice.
Mavericks lead 12-8 halfway through the first quarter. Hopper surprised Oakley, and it was deflected out by the Mavs. Last season, Dallas won 13 and lost 69. That was the worst record in the NBA by a good margin. And a foul is called. It's a pushing foul on the rim of Williams. At this moment, they are 23 games better than they were last season. 31 wins, and you can see how far they have come.
I know. Looky.
Ashburn got a piece of it.
Yes, more wins than the previous 2 seasons combined this season. It's a remarkable turnaround.
Harper, that's a 2-pointer, put on the line. So the one-time Dallas Maverick, Eric Harper, first-round pick of Dallas back in '83, spent 11 years with the Mavericks. 2-point lead for Dallas. Make it a 4-point lead as Popeye Jones shows the outside touch.
Boy, standing talking to Dick Motta before the game when Derek Harper came out, he was doing a little appearance with some young people out here, and Dick was drooling at the thought, his disappointment that he reflected with Harper no longer with the Mavericks. He just wishes he was there to work with the younger players and bring his defensive skills. He really misses the fact that Derek Harper is no longer a Maverick.
Starks. Starks hearing some reaction from the crowd. He missed his first 4 shots. Smith had it knocked away. Lucius Harris putting on the move. Rebound Jones and a foul. And the Mavericks doing the job off the boards. Foul on Charles Smith. Jones already has 6 rebounds. And the crowd reacts as Anthony Mason fronts over to the scorer's table. He'll come on, as will Hubert Davis. Popeye Jones, who led the nation in rebounding as a 300-pound senior at Murray State. Originally drafted by Houston on the 2nd round, and was traded to Dallas in a deal that has been all Dallas for Eric Riley. But he played a year in Italy before reporting to Dallas, and he has been a pleasant surprise starting last year as a rookie. Mavericks 15 and the Knicks 10 with 4.5 remaining in this first quarter. Ewing was stripped. Roy Copley, who just checked in, able to get a piece piece of it. Hartley has played well recently.
Mavericks were very quick to get Ewing when he put the ball on the floor.
Nice pass. And Jones with the reverse. Mavericks with a 17-10 lead. The Knicks only 5 of 18 from the floor. Now it is Hartley guarding Ewing.
Jason Kidd goes right over that pick that was set. Ewing with the touch from the outside.
Mavericks 17. Knicks 12. Mashburn posting up. Mashburn. He has 10 points. Mavericks 19 and the Knicks 12. Mason, Ewing, and Smith on the front line. Hartley had that pass diagnosed. There's Kidd for Hartley. Rebounded by Kidd, but he lost it. Hoffer. He was looking for Ewing, but Ewing well covered, and then he pops it. Mavericks 19, and the Knicks 14. 4 points for Hoffer. 3 minutes to go in this opening quarter.
Hoffer with the quick hands and the steal from Kidd. No question, Derek Hoffer is committed to getting that ball into Patrick Ewing.
Will it count? Yes, it does. And the foul. Dick Favetta makes the call on the continuation. Hartley picks up the foul. Timeout is taken.
The Rangers head for Beantown to take on Ray Bork and the Boston Bruins. Saturday right here on MSG.
If you have a passion for your lawn, you need the new Toro Super Recycler Mower. You need its patented cutting system that gives you a cleaner-looking lawn, even in thick, tall grass. And unlike ordinary mowers, it cuts clippings so fine it won't leave ugly clumps. Learn more about the Super Recycler Mower. Call now for your free video. Operators are standing by. Learn more about the best mower warranty around. If anything goes wrong for 5 years, Toro will fix it free. And Toro guarantees that it will start on the first or second pull. Call now for your free video that explains the best mower warranty available. Call this toll-free number now. Your free video will also show you all of the exclusive features of the Super Recycler Mower that can help you create that perfect lawn. Call for your free video that explains the Super Recycler's patented cutting system, the 5-year warranty, and its exclusive features. The call is free. The video is free. Toro, when you want it done right.
The Knicks take on Reggie Miller and the Pacers. Tuesday after Sports Desk and Game Night on MSG.
The rookie from the University of California, Jason Kidd. Since Jimmy Jackson went out with the sprained left ankle, Jason Kidd has really added to his game, has really come on in other areas, and we talked about that earlier with Jason.
With Jimmy going down, I've gained a lot of confidence. Maybe that was a good thing for myself because at the time I felt kind of spoiled because I had Jimmy and Jamal to always pass to, and that probably held me back. Not to say it was a bad thing, but for me now it's taking my game to another level.
Well, that was a 17-game period since Jimmy Jackson went down. The team is 11-6 over that period, and Jason Kidd's been scoring 17 a game versus his 11-point a game during the regular season to date. So he really lifted it up.
Jason Kidd getting a rest now, and Scott Brooks has played very well since coming over to the Houston Rockets. Has checked in. He'll be the point guard. Here's Hoffer. That's a three for Derek Hoffer, and a different situation for Derek. In contrast to what took place in the early participating against his former club in Dallas. He's tied the game at 19. 9 points for Hoffer. And a foul on Hubert Davis. 7-0 run by the Knicks to tie the game. Herb Williams coming on for the first time. Patrick Ewing will get a rest. Ewing 3 of 8 from the field, 6 points. Ashburn looking for the move against Smith. Goes to the fadeaway, not a good shot. Kept alive by Jones. 8 rebounds for Popeye Jones. Gary Benson in a conversation with Dick Pavetta discussing that whistle. And now he'll explain the call over at the scorer's table. Still 6 remaining on the shot clock.
Claiming that the ball hit the rim, which results in a new 24 seconds. And
they are resetting the clock. They're setting it on 21. Ashburn fouled by Smith. The basket will not count. The Knicks are over the limit, so Mashburn will go to the line.
Jamal Mashburn now, as we mentioned at the outset, 7th leading scorer in the league at 6'8". He looks heavy to me, Marv, and I can't assume that he's overweight. He just looks very muscular and heavy. If it was early in the season, you might say he's overweight, but at this point in the season, the load he's carrying for the team is such that he's got to be in great shape, so he's just a big, strong guy.
Mavericks 21, and the Knicks 19. It's Mashburn, Tarpley, and Jones up front with Brooks and Harris in the backcourt. Smith with a post-up move, a strong move by Charles Smith to tie the game.
He's doing that more and more with greater effectiveness, too, because of the speed with which he attacks the hoop.
Scott Brooks for Popeye Jones. On the back tap, kept alive by Mashburn. Mashburn guarded by Mason. Again, a bad shot. And that's the downside of his game. His shot selection, Barkley fired one up, is really poor.
Yes, that was a very poor decision.
And you can do that when the team is not winning, as he did last year, firing from all angles. Charles Smith. And the Knicks lead 23-21. Not to say that you want to see a player do that, but you can get away with it more frequently, as he did last year. But, well, this is not a legitimate ball club, and you don't want to see a guy taking shots like that.
It deflates your teammates, too, who are working hard also to get good shots. And it also encourages them, as we just witnessed now, to take rush shots, as Lucius Harris did.
And the Knicks now holding for a final shot of the quarter. 10 seconds remaining, first quarter. Knicks lead by 2, coming from behind after the slow start. Hoffer. So after 1, it's the Knicks 23 and the Mavericks 21.
This looks pretty good stuff right here. This wrinkles someone's tennis legs.
To 5. Nobody keeps those hours anymore. Breakfast is now the most important meal of the business day. But some
Last year's exciting charge to the NBA Finals. Even a special section commemorating the silver anniversary of the Knicks' first World Championship team. For your copy, send the $11 check or money order to Knicks Yearbook, 2 Penn Plaza, New York, New York, 10121. Attention, Debbie.
ago. Last time we saw him, he was taking a very quiet walk off the court after being hit with double technical by Ron Olesiak early fourth quarter in a key moment against the Detroit Pistons. Knicks went on to win the game, and afterwards Pat Riley, in good spirits, was asked about the Mason ejection.
I was drawn at him too, so we were both drawn at him. Maybe the guy heard me, and as long as he's drawn at the officials, it's okay.
When you win, you can smile, and Pat Riley did, certainly not wanting to make a bigger case with his relationship with Anthony Mason and Anthony's conduct.
Very impressive rejection by Roy Tarpley, sending that one to the crowd. Second quarter underway. The Knicks lead 23-21. And it is blue ball, according to Ken Mauer. That is the Dallas Mavericks. Tony Dumas, a rookie from Missouri, Kansas City, first-round draft pick. Dallas, actually a second selection on the first round. Checked in for the first time. Davis on a quick release. Mason with the rebound, but he's called for a loose ball foul. It's a push out. And the Mavericks will take over. Greg Anthony comes on for Derek Harper. So Harper, who shot very well against Detroit the other night, done a good job here in the first half against his former club. Leads with 7 points. George McCloud was pushed. George McCloud back in the NBA. He was playing in the CBA. He was pushed by Charles Smith, who's picked up a quick three. Last year, George McCloud played in Italy. He was a first-round pick of the Pacers back in 1989 and spent 4 years with Indiana, where he was considered a disappointment. Much more was expected of McCloud, who has a lot of skills.
Yes, he was a big guard for the Indiana Pacers, and didn't make it, as you say, Marv, at 6'8", but all of a sudden with the Dallas Mavs, he is a forward. Clearly a small forward. That's how they're playing him, and they couldn't be happier with him.
Mason around McCloud, leading Anthony. And that is where it stops. Davis able to free himself up. We've seen the Knicks on a number of occasions, and they are not noted as a adept, fast-breaking club. Sweep to the front court and stop. Nowhere to go. But Hubert Davis was able to free himself up for that jump shot. Shot clock at 5. Brooks. Scott Brooks coming up short, just did beat the 24.
Scott asked a little too much out of his body, I think, on that move to get a good shot up.
And a foul as Mason was pushed from behind. McCloud called for his first. The Knicks now have a front line of Bonner, Williams, and Mason. Davis and Anthony in the backcourt. Mason with a post up on the taller Hartley, and then is able to swing in. Beautifully done by Anthony Mason.
Crafty move by Mason at 6'8", working on the 7-footer. He immobilized Tarpley.
15-2 run by the Knicks. Dallas has missed its last 10 shots. Bad shot by Tarpley. But last touch by the Knicks. 4 remaining on the 24. Dallas only 8 of 22 from the field in the first quarter. Knicks lead 27-21. Dumas forces it with the shot clock running down. And here comes Bonner. Anthony. Greg Anthony faking the jump shot, going to the drive.
And Bob, that's one of the rare times when Greg flips up the layup that he got the good roll for the finish.
Dallas 0 for its last 12. 3 minutes gone by in the second quarter. McCloud make it 0 for the last 13. Anthony's pass deflected. It is not a violation. Oh, and Hubert Davis thought it was a backcourt violation, and he traveled. He did not see the indication of the deflection, and then he walked.
That's a tough one for Hubert Davis. Thankfully for him, it's in the first half of a game that has a lot left in it. That would have been tough if it was against Chicago in the late fourth quarter the other night.
Yes, I would think so. Jason Kidd is back. Mashburn back on the floor, going to the crossover against Bonner, and comes up with an air ball.
Bonner played him well.
Mashburn is 4 of 10. Davis.
Very tough to get offensive rebounding when you rush the shots, which is what the Knicks are doing a bit now.
Mashburn's pass broken up. Greg Anthony yelling at Hubert Davis. Watch it from behind. He saw Tony Dumas coming. Here's Barkley. And a foul against the Knicks. Herb Williams charged with a foul. He will sit down. Patrick Ewing is back. And Roy Tarpley will go to the free throw line. He is an 85% free throw shooter. Roy Tarpley has played the past 2 years in Greece. He was suspended from the NBA twice for drug abuse and then petitioned to the commissioner's office for readmission, so he is back in the league. The question is, can he stay clean?
Certainly has the support of the owner, Don Carter, who considers him an asset. Although Tarpley could be gone this time next year in the expansion draft, they just might pat him on the back, so to speak, and let him slide to another team. But Marv, the other side of it is when he was out after playing earlier this year, they were 5 and 15 without him. He's a talented player.
Barkley sitting down. Popeye Jones has the turn. Ewing facing a double team. It did not matter. And the Knicks now lead 31-22. Ewing with 8 points. Again, the matchup is Ewing and Lorenzo Williams. And the call against the Knicks. Foul on Ewing, that is his first. Here's Oakley for Bonner. The Knicks lead 31-22 on a 19-3 spurt.
What a great move by Mashburn. Mid-air, right into the hoop, no backboard.
Knicks by 7. Paul Mashburn, a New York City product, all city at Cardinal Hayes High School. Ewing, yes, got the roll, and beginning to take advantage of the much smaller Lorenzo Williams, who goes 6'9", about 200 pounds. Dallas going 8 minutes and 15 seconds without a field goal. They missed 14 straight shots before the field goal by Mashburn a moment ago. Timeout is called. The Knicks are up 33-24.
I'd have to say Larry is my best friend. The guy is a maniac for sports. He loves to play football. That's his sport, and he's the boss. And he'll never, ever leave a game early.
What is this, the Arctic Bowl? He's rolling out the tarp with him. Larry!
But all my life, Larry's always done me big favors.
Mike, Diane, Mike.
Hi.
Very big favors.
Yes. Cheers, buddy.
When you're with a friend as good as Larry, shouldn't you have a Heineken?
Hey, Knicks fans, on April 4th, when the Knicks take on the Indiana Pacers, all fans in attendance will get a Modell's Knicks scorecard. Good for 10% off merchandise at Modell's. Plus, for every quarter the Knicks outscore the Pacers, fans will get an additional 5% off, or up to a total of 30% off. If the Knicks outscore the Pacers for all 4 quarters and win the game, fans will get 35% off merchandise at Modell's. That's Tuesday, April 4th, when the Knicks take on the Pacers. Look for more Modell's Knicks scorecard giveaway nights throughout the season. Sponsored by Modell Sporting Goods. Gotta go to Mo.
get me that ball, and Harper does. Double team comes his way, and Ewing goes to that fall-away jump shot, no rims, swish right into the hoop.
Jamal Mashburn at the line. And the Knicks now lead 33-25. So the Knicks with a 19-3 run over that recent stretch. Dallas had missed 14 straight shots. They went 8 minutes and 15 seconds without a field goal. The Knicks lead is now 7. The Knicks have won the last 7 meetings against the Dallas Mavericks. And a foul against the Mavs.
Mason set up down low, and Mashburn set up behind him, and Mason just drove him back as he wanted to get position and drew the foul. Surprised Mashburn didn't do a little arguing, as if to say, hey, I'm standing here and I'm getting pushed around.
Mashburn called for his first. Ewing with the drop step.
That's enough to give Lorenzo Williams deep depression. There's nothing he can do with a move like that by Ewing.
Most unusual situation with Lorenzo Williams going 6'9", 200 pounds, and the point guard Jason Kidd at 6'4", 205. Dumas on the recovery gets it away, and a foul called on the Knicks. John Oakley. This may be the only instance in the history of the NBA where the starting point guard weighs more than his starting center. Tony Dumas, rookie shooting guard, averaged 26 a game as a senior last year. That was 11th in the nation at Missouri, Kansas City.
Dick Motta believes in him, and he's issuing lots of challenges to him to get his game up to a higher level. But he figures to be a member of this team in the future.
The Knicks lead by 8. Marv Albert with John Andres, Al Troutman, Walt Clyde Frazier will be on hand at halftime. Clyde still celebrating his birthday. Ewing once again.
Ewing getting in close as well. Clyde was very quiet about his birthday, Marv, but it was nice.
Accepted the cake from the Detroit Pistons. Jason Kidd with his second field goal. Accepted it very graciously.
Said it was good, too, before I spoke to him earlier tonight. He said it was Clyde, did you actually eat some of that cake? I said, yeah. Good.
Mason drawing a double team and is called for traveling.
Matt Dobek, who's in charge of public relations for the Detroit Pistons, did such a nice job in acknowledging Walt Frazier's birthday the other night in Detroit.
I thought the portions that you helped yourself to were on the embarrassing.
I can't help myself.
And a pushing foul on Oakley is trying to explain the hand check rule to the official Gary Benson. That's Charles's version, which is not being accepted. And Oakley has picked up his third. Well, Pat Riley in a discussion after the game in Detroit and then yesterday, and you may have seen it if you read the papers, about the fact that he doesn't know how he's going to play all his front court players. Tonight he'll have no problem with it because 3 fouls have been picked up by both Oakley and Smith. So I believe everyone will see action. Considerable action here tonight.
Yes, the point that has been made is that this is the first time all season that all of the frontline players of the Knicks are healthy. And now the question is, how does Pat Riley keep everyone happy?
That could be a problem down the road because guys always feel they should be playing, and there are a lot of guys as Mason gets inside where you can take the skills and match them up, and each of those Knicks players can make an argument that he should be out on the floor. Here's Harris. Lucius Harris. And the Knicks now lead 39-31.
I took note of Anthony Bonner, however, acknowledging that he was the last big guy to join this team. He kind of stepped back gracefully in a public stance that he made and just said, well, we've just got to be ready, those of us on the bench. And in his typical unselfish way, he said, I'll be, indicated I'll be ready no matter how many minutes I get.
And ironically, it's Bonner who has been in the starting lineup with Smith these days coming off the bench.
Mason seeing an errant pass from Starks go by him for a Knick turnover.
Mashburn spinning his way on Bonner. And it's retrieved by Mashburn. Harris coming up short. Bonner to the floor for that loose ball. The Knicks lead by 8, 4 minutes to go in the first half. Mashburn jumping out on Hoffer on a switch. The Knicks back with Starks and Hoffer at the guards. Here is Ewing. Patrick Ewing is in his last 7 shots. 16 points for Ewing.
Patrick goes outside. Probably he's not too anxious to guard him closely because Patrick will drive around him. Probably just doesn't look like he can contain Ewing when he gets on the move. So Patrick just might continue that.
Foul on Hoffer as he called for contact on the Kid.
There's Ewing in a moment. Well, we take a look now at Kidd, rather, on this particular play. Setting up in the low post with his strong body. Boy, what maturity for a guy who could be a junior in college now. His 6'4" physique is well filled out. Most unusual to see that kind of maturity at that age.
Kidd only a 69% free throw shooter. Able to hit on both. The Knicks lead 41-33. Hoffer going all the way. Saw the opening and was able to slice through. Mavericks try to catch the Knicks on the transition. Kidd gets it right back. Beautiful change of pace by Jason Kidd.
Well, sensational end-to-end play by the two guys who are matched up against each other.
Knicks 43, Dallas 35. Starks, yes. Well, John Starks had missed his first 4. That's his first field goal. Here's Kidd. Saved by Bonner. No, he stepped out. And Dick Motta calls for a timeout. 2:55 remaining. First half. It's the Knicks by 10.
Serious New York sports fans know there's only one place to turn for all the latest news and highlights. MSG Sports Desk, only on MSG Network, the best in the game.
The Knicks take on Reggie Miller and the Pacers Tuesday after Sports Desk and Game Night on MSG.
Started slowly, but now at their 45 points, they're featuring 55% from the field goal in the field goal percentage department. How about Perry Ellis? Look at Derek Hoffer penetrating right through that passive defense of Dallas, and then Jason Kidd responding with Hoffer in front of him. Hoffer got back pass, but Kidd got a beautiful drive off, and he succeeded at his end.
Just under 3 minutes remaining in the first half. It is Dallas ball as we resume. Mashburn played by Bonner. He's the high man for Dallas with 16. This is Popeye Jones getting inside. Mason able to save it. Dallas gets back. Hoffer and Starks in the backcourt. Ewing, Bonner, Mason up front. Shot clock at 5. Ewing rebounded by Mashburn. Harris on the break. And the Knicks now lead 45-37.
Well, a simple case of the fast break beating the transition defense of the Knicks down court. Nicely done by Dallas.
Starts by the backdoor pass. tricky with the dribble and lost it. Been an excellent shooting first half for the Knicks. 22 of 41 from the field for 54%. 20-second timeout is called. Dallas only 34%. They went through that stretch, missing 14 straight. And the oddity of this game, although the Knicks lead by 8, only one free throw attempt. And look at the Mavericks. They've been to the line 16 times.
Pat Riley with a special message for John Starks during that 20-second timeout. But all in all, I'd say Pat is pleased with his team's play here in the first half. They started poorly from the field, but got it going and seem to be in control thus far.
You know, John, you can tell how happy he was after the victory over the Pistons the other night because, you know, coaches always sense major trouble ahead. He was concerned as to how they would react following the loss to the Bulls with Michael Jordan hitting the 55 points and bad pass by Mashburn, but it's handled by Kidd. But they reacted well and had a solid game against the Pistons. Lucius Harris bringing Dallas within 6. Now Detroit is not to be confused with any of the elite teams, but you are playing on the road and you never know these days.
As the Knicks found out in their first visit to Detroit this year.
Ewing called for a travel. And nowhere to go. He was about to go up to either shoot or give the ball up. The Knicks with their 12th turnover. The Mavericks have 9.
I'm not sure that those turnovers have been inflicted by solid defense by Dallas. I think they've been caused more by poor ball handling, and 7 second-quarter turnovers for the Knicks are hurting a bit.
Kidd getting inside.
Oh, he got socked.
Yes, and Hopper hurt his hand. Looked like he jammed the finger. And Dick Pavetta calling a flagrant foul. As Jason Kidd is shaken up. Hard to see what happened. We'll have to check out the replay because we were screened out along the baseline. All right, here's another look.
He gets hit hard from behind. Another look at it, different angle.
That's a pretty good angle at it, although the Knicks feel it was not a flagrant foul. Jason Kidd is still down.
I think the judgment, Marv, on a play like that, the 20-second timeout is called by Dallas, is that did the defensive man play the ball or the guy's body? And that's what seems to be the determining factor. Hopper's going up to block the shot, but as it turns out with the fake by Kidd, it looks like he was just racking him up with disregarding the position of the basketball. Another look at it now. See that fake gets Hopper off the ground, so he can't block the shot. So on his way down, he clobbers Kidd. But the official, in an instantaneous decision that he has to make, says, hey, this guy hit the man. He had nothing to do with the basketball. So Hopper's unhappy, but Kidd is hurting and a lot unhappy.
Dallas calling for a 20-second timeout. Maverick trainer Doug Atkinson checking out Jason Kidd, who hears it from the crowd, looking a little woozy, as you might expect. Try to walk it off. He wants to hang in. Flagrant foul called, so Kidd will take the shots, and then it will be Dallas in possession. We have 51 seconds remaining in this first half. The Knicks with a 45-39 lead on the Mavericks. Jason Kidd is 2 for 2 from the line. Only 1 assist tonight. That was that beautiful pass for Mashburn.
You know, the Mavericks were very patient, as was the system here, of allowing the Mavericks to take that timeout, which they were certainly entitled to, so that Kidd could get to the foul line and shake that injury off. Hadn't he been able to shoot the fouls and someone would have substituted for him, he would have been out of the game.
Hopper just asked him if he was all right. The Knicks lead is now 4. They've led by as many as 10. setting up off the dribble. And stopped by Bonner. Played very well by Anthony Bonner. Down to a half minute to go in this first half.
The Knicks turnovers made this game a lot closer.
And Bonner blocked by Jones, who was on the move. Popeye Jones called for the foul with 23 seconds to go in this first half. It is called in the act, and Anthony Bonner, who has greatly improved his foul shooting, will shoot a couple. He's a 76% free throw shooter. Anthony Bonner bothered by a bruised right thigh, but played well here tonight. He's made it tough for Jamal Mashburn. Now Popeye Jones sits down. Scott Brooks is back. The Knicks now lead 46-41. Looking ahead, the Knicks will take on the injury hit New Jersey Nets Sunday afternoon at the Meadowlands. Knicks have won 3 of 4 against the Nets this season. Then back ball. Oh, an air ball by Bonner. Well, as I was saying about Anthony's free throw shooting, but he comes up way short. The Knicks back home Tuesday to go up against the Indiana Pacers.
Bonner was moving his shoulders if it hurt him, trying to distract everybody from that fourth shot.
Is that an old Johnny Hoops technique?
Oh, yes.
Back to the playing days?
Yes, always blame it on somebody else or some other factor.
Foul on Bonner. So that's 3 on Bonner, and you look at the Knicks front line, 3 apiece on Bonner, Oakley, and Smith, while Mason has 2. So Mashburn to the line. He's 6 for 6 at the line. 7 and 7/10 seconds remaining first half. And Hopper and Davis checking back in. Mashburn missing on both. Final seconds of the half. Mason trying to set up Davis. Hopper too late. So the Knicks could not get off a final shot. Boards against a first-rate rebounding team, so they have the advantage for the half, although Dallas did it on the offensive board. 13 assists for the Knicks, only 6 for the Mavericks. How about 16 personal fouls called on the Knicks, only 6 on Dallas.
Our Toyota matchup shows a rather unbalanced relationship here. Patrick Ewing, 16 points. The man guarding him, 0. Ewing owning the relationship there. And one of the few times, actually, Marv, that you see a game going into the game, you say, well, this should happen. In this case, it has happened. Ewing should be the big man. He should lead the Knicks. He should dominate his opponent.
The Knicks with a 5-point lead as the third quarter gets underway. Starks and Hopper in the backcourt. Ewing, Oakley, and Bonner up front. They double up on Ewing. Oakley tried to save that pass. In the process, he was pushed by Mashburn.
It's an amazing play Oakley made. I mean, that was a bad pass going into the hands of the Mavericks, and his aggressiveness recaptured the situation.
Mashburn called for his second. Here's Hopper for 3. And Derek Hopper with his second from downtown. Looking over the stats in the first half. In the second quarter, the Knicks 11 of 16 shooting. The Mavericks only 6 of 18 from the field.
Hopper had a very interesting first half with 9 points, 5 rebounds. No one on the Knicks had more than him, and 4 assists.
Mashburn not able to hit. Starks stopped by Harris. Hopper got bottled up. He had the step and then faced the double team. It's a 3-on-1, and that is only the second assist Picked up by Jason Kidd, setting up his backcourt partner, Lucius Harris. Kidd with 1 assist and 4 turnovers in the first half. The Knicks lead 49-43. Starks. Bonner rejected. Lorenzo Williams on the block. Here's Starks. Rebound Bonner. And Bonner missing on the follow.
An A for effort for Anthony Bonner. Unfortunately, though, he could not finish it.
Harris. And Oakley with a good box out on Jones. The Knicks with the ball. They lead by 6. 2 minutes in. Third quarter. Again, it's Bonner with the rebound. This time he pops it out, but a foul is called. Harris got a piece of Bonner as he threw it outside. Second on Harris. The Knicks come in at 45-24. They're 6.5 games behind Orlando. And that pass not handled by Ewing. Looking the other way, the Knicks 2.5 in front of Charlotte. Oh, beautiful move by Kidd, who again takes a pretty good shot, this time from Starks.
What a move by Kidd. Swivel hips his way to that play. And the Eastern Conference, you can see the Knicks in third right now with Indiana, the Central Division leaders, pulling away from Charlotte. Now Charlotte's on the fade, and boy, they're going to miss Scott Burrell, who ruptured his Achilles tendon earlier this week and have gone on to lose their last couple of games, most recently to Dallas last night.
The Knicks by 4 with 2:15 gone by in the third quarter. Here is Ewing. Jason Kidd went to the left hand and was stopped. Bonner got a piece of it. Look away from Starks for Bonner. The Knicks lead 51-45. They isolate Mashburn against Bonner. Starks with the steal. And then kicked away by Harris, recovered by Harper.
One of the few times Mashburn gave the ball up after he went into a one-on-one move. That'll teach him to do it. His teammate turned it over.
Shot clock at 2, and Starks with the 3.
A new move by Starks. He wasn't ready to shoot the jumper, but the clock forced him to it. That was a very interesting move by him.
The Knicks lead by 9. Here's Popeye Jones. Harper is open. Yes. So the Knicks have picked it up. They now lead by 11. I said a moment ago that the Knicks were 2.5 over Charlotte. A correction, 3.5 over the Charlotte Hornets. The Knicks do not want to slip down a notch. 7-0 run by the Knicks. Harper for 3. So Derek Harper is hit 3 from downtown. And the Knicks now lead 59-45. 10 unanswered by the Knicks, who hear it from the crowd as the Mavericks take a timeout.
The New York Yankees lead the major leagues with more championships, more great moments, and more legendary baseball heroes than any other team in history. And now, you can share in the glory of the pinstripes with a newly released book entitled The Yankees, written by famous New York sports writer Phil Pepe. It's the first authorized complete history of the Bronx Bombers, the Yankees. You can order this one-of-a-kind book for only $39.95 plus shipping and handling. Just call 1-800-88-YANKS. That's 1-800-88-YANKS. Available for a limited time only.
Want to make a Consumer's Digest Best Buy an even better buy? Well, right now, we're offering $1,000 cash back on every Dodge Caravan. Not just some, every one. Add in up to $1,100.
So make the most of it.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that clever?
Enjoying tonight's game against his former club, the Dallas Mavericks. Remember back on January the 20th in Dallas, Derek's first appearance back at Reunion, and that was his only field goal, a three-pointer right here with 11 seconds remaining in the game. He was only 1 of 9 in his 39 minutes. He did have 11 assists. I would have liked a little bit more offense for the return back to Dallas, but the Knicks did win the game 106-93, and Derek taking it out on his former club tonight. He's hit 3 of 4 from downtown. The Knicks lead by 14. It's their biggest lead of the night. That won't count. A foul before the shot. It's on Bonner. That is 4 on Bonner. The Knicks have done the job off the boards in this third quarter by a margin of 8-2. You see the Knicks shooting for the game. Mashburn with a crossover. Beautiful move. He had Bonner slipping backward, but could not hit the shot.
Yes, very contained moves. Not a lot of drama, but very effective. Can't get over how heavy he looks, Marv. His arms look so big. Refer to Mashburn.
He seems to be hung up on that more shot.
Adjust at all to Bonner's movement to right through underneath where he was wide open.
The Knicks now lead 61-45. Jones, Popeye Jones with 7 points. The Knicks 61 and the Mavericks 47.
Dick Motta makes a point with his big men. If you get that ball on the side or in shooting position, you've got to shoot that ball. Otherwise, we don't want you getting the ball. You must shoot it, and Popeye Jones likes that conversation.
Just under 6 minutes remaining in this third quarter.
Everything's stationary on the offense now, and Mashburn starts his one-on-one movement.
That was a three-point attempt by Kidd. Ewing tried to peg it, broken up by Kidd. It'll be Nick Ball. They have 20 on the shot clock. Ewing sets the screen. Oakley for 3. Well, Charles Oakley for the other night in his first three-point field goal in 3 years against the Pistons has hit one here tonight from deep in the right corner. It is only his 28th career three-pointer. Harris. And the Knicks now lead 64-49.
Percentage-wise, the Knicks are doing a good job keeping the Mavericks down. They're only shooting 34% against the Knicks from the field.
Hopper. Knicks have now hit 4 of 4 from three-point land in this third quarter. Kidd tried to get it to Williams. And Harper with the steal, recovered by Williams. Harris able to shake off Oakley. Jones on the rebound. Here's a 3 for Mashburn. And again kept alive by the Mavericks. Harris tipped home by Jones. So Dallas able to control the boards. Knicks now lead 64-51. That three-pointer by Oakley was his first in 6 years. His first since April of '89 against the Boston Celtics. That was the bomb squad season of 88-89. Mashburn on the foul. Anthony Mason replacing Anthony Bonner, who with his active body has done a terrific job off the boards. Bonner 7 points, 9 rebounds, 2 block shots.
Pat Riley, recognizing the hustle of Bonner, has given him plenty of time. Those are the Riley ground rules. I go with what I see. We saw some good play by Anthony Bonner right from the start.
Rick Anthony replacing Derek Hopper. Rick Anthony with 6 minutes of action in the first half.
Marv, just walking around doing my halftime visiting before, ran into one of New York City high school legends, one of the great scorers to ever play in the city, Stacy Arsenault. I know a name you'll recall, and perhaps some of our viewers might recall Stacy Arsenault's legendary high school performances.
I watch you checking out the crowd, walking around looking for people as Kidd hits the 3, and the Knicks now lead 66 to 54. The Johnny Hoops halftime walk. Looking for people that he can talk to. We'll be right back.
The Rangers head for Beantown to take on Ray Bourque and the Boston Bruins. Saturday, right here on MSG.
It's the Knicks, and you know we're amazing. Catch all the action on our #1 station. For Knickerbocker games, there's one place to be. It's the New York Knicks on MSG. MSG, yeah, we got it going on. With Oakley and Ewing playing all season long, and the rest of the crew on the station that kicks. It's MSG and the New York Knicks. Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go!
It's New York Knicks basketball all season long on MSG.
Go New York, go!
Mitsubishi Motors salutes the extra effort of New York police officer Stephen McDonald and the Stanley Cup champion New York Rangers. Now through April 26, you can vote for the Ranger who you believe deserves to win the Stephen McDonald Extra Effort Award and a 1995 Mitsubishi Eclipse. Plus, you can win one of 2 pairs of tickets to a Rangers playoff game. In addition, your tri-state dealers and Mitsubishi Motors will donate $50 for every Rangers goal scored this season, up to $15,000 to the Stephen McDonald Foundation. Vote at any Rangers home game through April 26th or send your vote to P.O. Box JAF 3210, New York, New York. Serious New York sports fans want their sports news straightforward and up to the minute. That's why millions of fans find just what they're looking for with MSG Sports Desk. News, views, scores, highlights, with a team of pros to bring you all the latest. Gus Johnson, Mike Crispino, Mike Quick with area high school sports, and the always straight-shooting Bob Page. Get the real deal every night with the New York sports leader, MSG Sports Desk. Only on MSG Network, the best in the game.
Delta Airlines' upcoming schedule, we'll take a look at it. You'll see the Knicks playing New Jersey on Sunday in a game to be seen on NBC. Tuesday, the Knicks play the Indiana Pacers here at the Garden with Knicks game night at 7 p.m. And then Wednesday, the Knicks will travel to Milwaukee for a game to be seen on MSG2.
The Knicks now have Starks and Anthony in the backcourt. Ewing, Mason, and Oakley up front. Anthony for 3, and Jones with the rebound. The Knicks 66 and the Mavericks 54. 3.5 to go, third quarter. Scott Brooks and Lucius Harris now in the backcourt. Popeye Jones, Jamal Mashburn, and Roy Tarpley on the front line. Shot clock at 3. Tarpley. And Mason comes away with it. Oakley firing one for Ewing. Oakley with the rebound.
Nice play by Charles. Gets the rebound with his arms extended and leaves them there so he can finish and not bring them down where a littler, smaller man rather can tie him up.
The Knicks have a 14-point lead. Oakley all over Jones. Tarpley getting inside, went to the other hand and shot an air ball.
Boy, if ever a situation called for a hook shot, it was the position Tarpley had.
Tarpley is 0 for 5 from the field. Tarpley stripping Ewing, recovered though. Here's Starks for 3. Well, John Starks has relocated the touch. He has 8 points. He's hit 2 of 3 from downtown. And the Knicks match their biggest lead of the night, a margin of 17. Blocking foul called. It's on the Knicks. Foul on Starks, Herb Williams, and Hubert Davis. Report back, replacing Patrick Ewing and John Starks. Ewing with 18, and Starks leads with 8 points. Lorenzo Williams back for Popeye Jones. 9 points and 12 rebounds for Popeye Jones. And the Knicks hitting the shot from downtown, which has been a problem as of late. 6 of 10 tonight. Herb Williams breaking it up. Coming into tonight, the last 10 games, the Knicks only 30% from three-point range.
Mavericks looking a little tired right now. They seem to have lost their zest that they have in the opening part of this game.
Mashburn around Mason, who thought he had him cut off. Rebounded by Oakley, but he lost it, and a collision between Tarpley and Mashburn. Mashburn has missed his last 7 shots. 2 big men, Jamal Mashburn and Roy Tarpley, in that collision. It's been a difficult night physically for the Mavericks. Jason Kidd got racked up a couple of times.
Well, with 2 big men clobbering each other, I think anybody coming to an NBA game will take another look at it, wonders probably why this doesn't happen more often. These guys are so graceful and so quick to adjust to the space on the court that this rarely happens. But both those big fellows were shaken up. This top Mashburn driving in, making his way to the basket. He just comes over and clobbers Tarpley. Fortunately, neither player was hurt that badly. That's one of those deals where you're happy it doesn't happen around the leg level. I remember seeing over the years players falling into each other and damaging knees.
George McLeod has replaced Jamal Mashburn. Roy Tarpley apparently all right. Mashburn looks to be okay, sitting next to Dick Motta on the Dallas bench. Harris on the drive. And rebounded by Oakley.
That's an Oakley rebound. A lot of people there, you're wondering who's going to get the ball. Charles comes out with it.
Oakley with 8 rebounds. Oakley with the shot. The Knicks have a 17-point lead. Here's Brooks on the drive, and he's fouled. Greg Anthony came over to cut him off. Charles Oakley also there. John Oakley. Dallas Mavericks, the second best rebounding team in the league. They're number 1 on the offensive boards, but here's a look at the stats. They lead the NBA in offensive rebounding, better than 18 per game. But the Knicks tonight have done the job. You know, that was the topic of discussion for Pat Riley, showing these totals, I'm sure, to his ball club. And the Knicks have out-rebounded the Mavericks 39-31 here this evening. 9 rebounds for Bonner, 8 for Oakley. They have led the way. Herb Williams set position down low against Lorenzo Williams. A push is called on Williams. Lorenzo Williams played for 4 teams last season. If you include preseason, Boston, Orlando, Charlotte, and Dallas. Also spent time with Rockford in the CBA, and he is now the Mavericks starting center. Davis for 3, banks it home.
Misjudgment by Hubert Davis. Certainly, because good shooters like him, any shooter is shooting for that front rim, but what a nice break he gets.
Biggest lead of the night for the Knicks, margin of 18. McLeod battles his way. And the foul called with 27 seconds left in the third quarter. Herb Williams hit with his second foul. The Knicks have connected on 6 of 7 from three-point range here in the third quarter. The Knicks have hit more from downtown than they have at the foul line, but it has not mattered here tonight because the Knicks have had a terrific shooting night in the field. 51%, 32 of 63.
Well, George McLeod joined this team in late February. First 25 shots he took, George hit 18 of them. What an impression he made on Dick Motta when he joined the Dallas Mavs.
3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Time runs down in the third. Anthony for 3. Make it 7 of 8 from downtown for the Knicks. In the third quarter, they've opened up a 77-58 lead. Final seconds of the quarter. McLeod not able to hit. And that'll do it. After 3, it's the Knicks 77. The Dallas Mavericks 58.
The American business day has no beginning, middle, or end. You're up by 6 a.m. to talk to London by noon. Late Tuesday in Vermont is early Wednesday in Sydney. No wonder UPS created Total Track. Up-to-the-minute delivery information 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You may never know where you'll be at any given moment.
Where am I? At an airport.
But you'll always be able to track your package. UPS, moving at the speed of business.
For announcing and pronouncing, Marv, you're number 1. Yes.
MSG Network congratulates Marv Albert on 5 Cable Ace Awards.
Marv's the guy that says that, he's got that catchy phrase. What is that again?
Yes! Yes! And it counts! Yes!
Congratulations on another great year and a great job.
Marv Albert and MSG Network, the best in the game.
This year, your yard may be full of barbecues, family reunions, baseball games, even a junior circus. For less than the cost of this newspaper, your Lawn Doctor dealer will help keep your yard green and lush. Get the healthy lawn you want for $29.95 or less, with all the granular nutrients and only the weed and insect controls your lawn needs. Only $29.95 or less per service. Only from Lawn Doctor. Nobody does it better naturally.
As we open up the fourth quarter, a look at our Coke Classic play, and we go to the CHSAA, the Catholic High School Athletic Association, for a young man by the name of Jamal Mashburn, number 54, then playing for Cardinal Hayes in the championship game March 9th, 1990 up at Fordham, and Mashburn with 18 points, 7 rebounds, leading Cardinal Hayes to the 52-46 win over All Hallows. And for Cardinal Hayes, their first CHSAA title since 1944. There he is, Jamal Mashburn, who was shaken up late third quarter in that collision with Roy Tarpley. Got off to the good start, has 16 points, but all 16 scored in the first half. He's missed his last 7 shots.
Always nice to see the Fordham gym, Marv.
Does it bring chills for you?
Oh, it does, yes. I was shooting at that exact basket, actually, 2 days after Christmas this year. But the gym wasn't filled, Marv. Like it was for Jamal.
Foul called on Herb Williams. You're a lonely man, John. So you're out there by yourself in the gym.
Happy in the gym by myself.
Shooting around.
That's right, working on the game.
McLeod at the line. And the Knicks now lead 77-59. Have you gotten away from the two-hand set? You're shooting him now with the one hand, the right hand release?
No, I'm a left-handed.
Yes, you are. That's it. I'm sorry. I apologize on my failed scouting report.
I need to take you out for a lesson again.
Yes, right. The Knicks lead by 17. You know, when I think about it, you could have gone along with the fact that you're right-handed. Basically, I don't think anyone would know.
Well, it's a compliment because I can shoot with either hand.
I see.
And that's okay with me.
Brooks on the foul. Anthony and Starks and Davis in a 3-guard alignment. Here is Anthony, and he got hit by Williams. Lorenzo Williams cutting off Greg Anthony. In the third quarter, Dallas 5 of 22 from the field, and the Knicks were 11 of 23. It has been a poor shooting game for the Mavericks. 31% overall. For the Mavericks, this is game 2 of a 3-game road trip. They'll finish it out Sunday in Boston. They opened it with a victory last night in Charlotte, 125-107. Charlotte Hornets taken aback by the injury suffered by Scott Burrell, a key player this season.
Yes, the Achilles tendon injury. And remember when they were in here recently.
Herb Williams on the block, and then again. Herb Williams with consecutive rejections. Crowd wants Herb to finish it off.
Nothing lights up the crowd like a defensive play like that.
Davis to the left hand. The Knicks lead by 20.
Hubert is so good with the left hand.
Hubert Davis coming off an excellent game against the Pistons on Wednesday. Lit it up in the fourth quarter. Starks, Anthony for Mason. John Starks to Greg Anthony to Anthony Mason. A very impressive display here tonight by the New York Knicks.
Beautiful play also by Greg Anthony, finishing that play with the pass.
Things loosey-goosey out there. John Starks wrapping up the official. Dick Bavetta responding to the call.
Well, it all began with the nice play by Herb Williams helping out. George McLeod sent away. Then Herb goes over and blocks another one. Roy Topley rejected. Mason on the save. And Starks pushed that ball up court.
An early entrance for Doug Christie replacing John Starks. Christie has not played the last 8 games. Topley with a wild shot. 3-on-1. Christie gives it back. Gave it back to Dallas. Here's Kidd with the ball fake. Beautiful shot by Jason Kidd. The Knicks lead 82-62.
Kidd is so fast with the basketball. That's his special quality.
17 for Kidd. 9.5 remaining on the fourth. Mason. And the rebound swept by Williams.
Boy, Topley's not too much into pursuit defensively.
Here's Kidd for 3. Christie pops it down.
Oh, Anthony misjudged that situation. He tried to get running to the hoop before he got the ball. John Starks a moment ago having a chat with Dick Bavetta. Actually, Dick invites that with his friendly attitude toward players.
Topley is 0 for 8. Davis for 3. Yes. 10 points for Hubert Davis. Another 3 for the Knicks. And they lead 85-62. The Knicks are 9 of 13 from downtown. Foul against the Knicks. Foul made his move. Herb Williams collecting his 4th foul. Paul Mashburn is back along with Popeye Jones and Doug Smith making his first appearance. Mavericks 0 for 17 in terms of bench players, and the Knicks 12 of 18 from the field. That's the contribution from the bench.
This is one of those games, though, Marv, where no matter how poorly the Mavericks play, their coach is not going to be that unhappy. They had a good win last night against Charlotte. They're a vastly improved team. And they're working hard, but they're just very, very ineffective tonight compared to the Knicks, who are shooting 53% from the field to the Mavericks 29.
that field goal by Dumas represents the Mavericks' first off the bench. Tony Dumas with the jump shot. Mason swinging in. 4 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter, and the Knicks are up by 21 points. Brooks for McLeod. Smith on the tip. Doug Smith, in his 4th year out of Missouri, remember he was a #1 draft pick. 6th overall in the draft. A major disappointment. He's a highly talented player coming out of Missouri.
Undoubtedly, he will not be here as a member of the Mavericks next year. He probably will go to the expansion teams.
Dumas fouled by Mason. He thought he had him locked up. And Anthony takes a walk. That's 3 on Mason.
Pavetta allowed Mason to express himself, but didn't like the response.
Scott Brooks firing from three-point land. Kept alive by Dumas. Here's McLeod. Fouled, held by Davis. The Knicks gunning for a sweep of the season series against the Dallas Mavericks, trying to make it 8 straight wins overall against Dallas. The last time the Mavericks beat the Knicks was March of '91. They did it in Dallas in an overtime game. And as we mentioned earlier, the Mavericks feeling good about the fact they may see Jim Jackson returning much earlier than anyone anticipated. Thought he'd be out another 3 weeks with that sprained left ankle, but he could play in 2 games. Dallas with a game in Boston on Sunday, and then Wednesday they're back home to face the Los Angeles Lakers, and Jackson might play in that game against the Lakers. Gilbert Davis from 2-point range. The Knicks now lead by 20.
Jackson, the highest scoring guard in the NBA this year. 5th man in the NBA in scoring at the moment at 25 a game.
And Doug Smith hits from the outside. So Mavericks finally getting a contribution off the bench. Crowd wants Christie to shoot. And the baseline closed by McLeod. Gets the pick. Can't find the shot. Gets it to Mason. Christie with the assist. And Mason with the bucket. The Knicks 89. The Mavericks 69. Doug Smith. Who, as you mentioned, is probably auditioning for Toronto and Vancouver. Timeout is called by Pat Riley. 6 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in the fourth.
With cast aluminum wheels, a rear spoiler, not to mention big savings.
Now choose between low 4.9 financing for 48 months or $600 cash back on every new Ford Escort in stock.
With so many different Escort models, there's definitely one for you, like a sedan. Or how about a wagon? See your Ford dealer today.
The Knicks have had a hot shooting ball game right from the start, while Dallas, on the other hand, has had the spells of cold shooting. At one point, they missed 14 straight shots. Doug Smith with the rebound with just under 6 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, and the Knicks in command, 89-71. You get the idea that Smith is out there just looking to fire away at Will, John? It's unbelievable.
He's in his own little world, his own offensive world.
Donald Hodge coming in following that timeout. For Hodge, his first appearance of the night.
Look at the team changes with Kidda out.
Oh, nice move by Christie. Now that's the Doug Christie we saw upon occasion as a member of the Los Angeles Lakers.
Well, his teammates appreciated that move by Christie.
Brooks. Hodge missed on the tip. And Monty Williams comes away with it. But Pat Riley able to begin emptying the bench. He has Monty Williams, Doug Christie out there, along with Greg Anthony, Herb Williams, and Hubert Davis. Pretty shot by Anthony.
Donald Hodge the 7-footer, let it happen right in front of him. Hodge somewhat passive as a defender, unfortunately for him.
8 points for Greg Anthony. Dumas on the recovery for Smith. And the Knicks now lead 93-73. 4.5 remaining in this fourth quarter. Herb Williams. The Knicks 95. The Mavericks 73.
The Knicks are not feeling Dallas as a defensive team.
Hodge, Donald Hodge, in his 4th NBA season out of Temple. And the Knicks lead is now 20. With just under 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Monty Williams hit from behind by Doug Smith. 13 foul committed by the Mavericks. I agree with the point you made earlier, John. Of course, Dick Motta comes into a game like this and he's saying, boy, wouldn't it be wonderful to win 2 straight on the road. But realistically, he is thinking, hey, we won impressively last night in Charlotte. Davis, and the Knicks now lead by 22. You can't expect to make it 2 out of 2 against Charlotte and the Knicks, although stranger things have occurred. But he would love, you know, to pick up a win and make it 2 out of 3 on the trip by beating the Celtics in Boston on Sunday. Foul called on Christie, and the Knicks over the foul limit.
It's a somewhat mellower Dick Motta than his years with the Bulls and with the Mavericks. He kind of was grouchy, had a very tough exterior that he gave off. But these days, he's a little more philosophical. He's enjoying coaching. One of the all-time coaches in terms of durability and wins. And Dick himself said to me before the game, he said, you know, these kids are really thinking about making the playoffs now. It's kind of like, can you believe that? That was what he gave off, you know, and he's just appreciative of the talent he has and what's building. There's a big change in Dallas, and he takes a lot of credit for it.
Well, he's 63 years old. He took over from Quinn Buckner, who certainly had that nightmarish rookie head coaching season. Monty Williams fouled by Doug Smith. Monty goes flying and holding his hand. One of the photographers got the worst of that one. Dick Motta, a familiar face back in Dallas.
Monty Williams on this drive left and finishes losing his balance at the press table there.
And obviously also made contact with one of our MSG Network cameramen.
Who's more concerned about the camera than himself.
Dave Chesney, though, trying to hang in for the shot. What an effort. Getting back to the subject of Dick Motta, he coached the Mavericks their first 7 years in the NBA. Remember, he was their first coach back in 1980. Christie. And he will go to the line. Fouled by Hodge. Timeout is taken with 2:52 left in this fourth quarter. And the Knicks are up by 20 points.
Interviews. Features. Highlights. The action is live on MSG. Before Knicks games, it's New York Knicks game night. The Knicks take on Reggie Miller and the Pacers Tuesday after Sports Desk and Game Night on MSG.
Rangers move in, Nedved for Kovalov, score!
Rangers fans, show your true colors on Friday, April 7th, when the Rangers take on the New York Islanders. The first 3,000 fans wearing Rangers apparel will receive a free gift, courtesy of the New York Rangers, CCM, and Modell Sporting Goods. That's Friday, April 7th, when the Rangers take on the Islanders. Look for more Rangers blue shirt nights throughout the season. Sponsored by CCM and Modell Sporting Goods. Gotta go to Moe's.
What if there were no sports? If you couldn't join a team, what will you join? If you couldn't dream of touchdowns, what will you dream? What if you did something? What if you cleaned up an old ball field or put up a new rim? What if there were no sports? Would I still be your hero?
Miss Russell Simmons' Def Comedy Jam at the Paramount on Saturday, April 8th at 8 p.m. hosted by Joe Torre with Kid Capri and starring the new host of Def Comedy Jam, Ricky Harris. Tickets are on sale now at the Garden box office or through Ticketmaster. To charge, call 212-307-7171.
Doug Christie at the free throw line. 3 points for Doug Christie. Had not played in the last 8 games. Doug is now 2 of 3 at the line for the season. And the Knicks now lead 99-77 as this one winds down. Knicks had lost their last 2 at home. And Dallas had won 4 straight, 5 of the last 6 on the road. McLeod. So the Knicks lead is now 20.
No, Marv, I'm very unhappy that Popeye Jones hasn't been to the foul line tonight. It was something I wanted to point out about him. Do you think I can do it even though he's not prominent right now?
I would think you have the go-ahead from the entire staff.
We're not going to see Dallas anymore this year.
Yeah, what would you like to say, John?
I'd just like to say that Popeye Jones, as a 280-pound high school athlete, started shortstop for his high school team, which was a Class A championship team.
Great fact. And I'm glad that you passed it on.
6'8", 280, a shortstop.
I would think he had excellent range.
Very good. Very, very good analysis. Projection by you.
Here's Dumas getting inside. Try to put the reverse English on it. McLeod breaking up that attempt by Monty Williams. And was last touched by Monty. 1:45 remaining in this 4th quarter. Christie knocked it away. Recovered by Brooks. Donald Hodge. And the Knicks now lead 99-83. Christie on the follow, but it's recovered by Smith. It's one of those rare nights where the entire Knick roster has played.
It's been 10 games since the Knicks had a big win here at the Garden. It was against Denver. Big
by, you mean a margin of victory.
Margin of victory. 20-point win over Denver here in the middle of March.
Brooks on the intercept. Down to 45 seconds left in the game. Dumas. And the Knicks now lead 99-85. But for the Knicks, there will be much satisfaction by Pat Riley and the players. It's 2 straight solid performances. The win over Detroit, Wednesday at the Palace, and then here tonight against the Mavericks.
Derek Harper, one-time Mav. And when you look at career assists, our AT&T statistical presentation here, Derek Harper the best in the assist department in the history of the Dallas Mavericks. A fight on the bench. Oh, no, they're smiling. That's Ewing and Starks. Very playful.
A very frisky night all around. Hodge hits the 3-point shot.
They better not get unprofessional, Marv.
Yes, a good point. The alley-oop from Greg Anthony to Monty Williams. 6 seconds to go. And here's Brooks. And that will do it. The Knicks 101, the Mavericks 90. The final score not a true indication of blowout that it was. With the Knicks in command most of the way. A hot shooting night for the New York Knicks. And they win it 101-90 to make it 8 consecutive wins over the Dallas Mavericks. And the Knicks are now 46-24 for the season. Mavericks dropped to 31-38. We'll be back in a moment with the wrap-up right after this.
Hey, MCI customers, MCI advertising
will receive 2 tickets to a Knicks home game, dinner at Reese's legendary Toot Shore restaurant, and a shot at winning an Eagle Vision TSI. To enter, stop by any participating Reese restaurant for your official entry form.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA.
Welcome back to MSG. On MSG tonight, the Knicks won over the Dallas Mavericks 101-90. Well, he doesn't do it for 6 years, and then he does it in 2 consecutive games. Charles Oakley beyond the stripe tonight, hitting the three-pointer. It's one of the many storylines we can follow as Charles Oakley joins us here at courtside. Well, Charles, what is this? Sort of a new look strategy? I mean, last year it was 1 dunk a month, and now what is it going to be, a three-pointer a game?
1 dunk. I don't know. I just was open, and I just took a shot. You know, just playing the game and just trying to, you know, let it come back to me.
The Knicks tonight in the second quarter allowed the Mavericks to come back from 12 down. You go into the locker room up by 5, but you really had to get the sense that they were there for the taking tonight. Is that what led to the third quarter?
Well, we know they played last night, and we've been coming out third quarter kind of sluggish lately, so we just want to make sure we got to a good start, and we got some things going. Derek had a great game, Mason, Hubert, and it's just a good win for us to get ready for Indiana next Tuesday. Jersey Sunday.
Oak, how are you feeling? Are you totally 100% with the foot and your jumping ability and everything? Do you feel completely there?
I think I'm back, but like I said, I just need to, get into the game and just play the game, let the game come back to me. But, I just got to take what they give me right now, and just as long as we get the win, and, I'm coming back getting in shape for playoff.
But you must be looking forward to that one huge monster game.
I try to have it every night, and sometimes things don't go your way, but just have to come back next night and just try to play as hard as you can.
Talk to me about how the Knicks are feeling about themselves now. This has been it's been a while since that night when you blew out Denver and all those things that happened. How's everybody doing in that clubhouse?
Well, we're just trying to get things back together. We just had Mason back for 3 or 4 games, and get him back, and we're getting the rotation ready for the playoff. And, we're on a positive note. I think that a lot of things been going on, but I think as a whole, we're sticking together as a team.
Yeah, it seemed that way in the fourth quarter. It seemed as though all the starters who were on the bench got a really good charge out of watching Doug Christie spin to the hole and Monty Williams get an alley-oop.
Well, I think that them guys really practice hard, and they want a chance to play, and they got a chance to play tonight. I know we was up a lot of points, but minutes is minutes, and when you get into the game, you just prove to the coach you can play no matter what score.
Now, everybody comes out here wearing the car wash T-shirts for you. Now, here you get the shot, and what do? You give me a Knicks T-shirt.
Well, I think that everybody knows it's my car wash. So
yes, we do.
I don't want to overdo it, but I think the guys really been supportive of wearing the shirts, hats, and, just glad that we had the opportunity to put the car wash in the Bronx and the Garden selling the shirts. I just want to say, thanks to the Garden who allows us a chance to put the shirts here, the hats here, and donate $1 to every hat and T-shirt to a charity in the Bronx.
Oh, that's great. Oak, thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Charles Oakley, part of the winning effort of the New York Knicks tonight.
Knicks fans, the official yearbook of the 1994-90. Can Patrick Ewing carry the Knicks through the East? Can the Nets fire up in time for the postseason? Battle lines have been drawn.
This is the NBA on NBC. Today, it's the New York Knicks versus the New Jersey Nets.
And we welcome you to East Rutherford, New Jersey for today's matchup, and the postseason positioning continues as we enter the final month of the regular season. The Knicks are in the playoffs. Where they'll end up is still a bit up in the air, but for the battle for that 8th and final playoff spot in the East is a dandy. The Celtics hold it down now. New Jersey just 1 game back and looking to move up. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Brendan Byrne Arena. Along with Steve Jones, I'm Greg Gumbel. We're talking about the Nets looking to move up. If they are going to do it today at the expense of the New York Knicks, they will do it without their star forward, Derek Coleman. 20 points, 10 rebounds every time he's out with a sprained wrist. He is out of action today, and that means the pressure is on Kenny Anderson at the point.
There is all the pressure on Kenny Anderson, and what Kenny Anderson has to do today is be an all-star. That means do everything and lead his team to victory. When he plays with those numbers, he's a tough player.
There are no secrets where the New York Knicks are concerned. They ride the shoulders each and every day and night of Patrick Ewing.
And the difference between an all-star and Patrick Ewing is an MVP. And Ewing is a candidate, and they know that he's going to deliver.
All right, Steve, these teams have met 4 times previously. The Knicks hold a 3-1 edge. Starting lineups in the opening tip when we come back to the Meadowlands in just a moment.
Slapping the hands together and spilling the talcum powder on the chagrined announcer Johnny Kerr. No chagrin from Tony Kukoc on the receiving end of that beautiful feed from Jordan. Jordan himself, though, made only 5 of 19 from the field, but this one is worth a second look. He finishes with just 12 points, the lowest total in his 7 games back. The Bulls are now 5-2 since Jordan's return, and for the first time all season, they have a 4-game winning streak. Elsewhere, Utah surprised by the Clippers in Anaheim. The Clips win it by 18 despite 37 points from Karl Malone. Milwaukee got 29 from Glenn Robinson and beat the slumping Rockets, who played without Olajuwon and Maxwell, both sitting out, officially listed with anemia. And Isaiah Ryder scored a career-high 42 as the T-Wolves routed the Warriors. Off we go now to the tip-off of your game. But first, these messages.
If you had one wish every 15 years, wouldn't this be it?
Forward, Patrick Ewing in the middle with Derek Harper and John Starks in the backcourt. The Nets, minus Derek Coleman this afternoon, have Armon Gilliam and P.J. Brown, who's back from a thigh bruise. He's missed 2 games. Benoit Benjamin is in the middle. Kenny Anderson and Rex Walters in the backcourt. The officials today, Ed T. Rush, Bob Delaney, and Joe DeRosa. And the smiles belie the intensity with which this rivalry is always contested.
Well, it's a hotly contested one, and I think most of the pressure is on the New Jersey Nets because they feel that they have to beat Big Brother. And they've come in and played well when they've gotten off to good starts. They cannot afford to be down early in this ball game against the Knicks.
1-3 against the Knicks this year. And there's a turnover right away. The Knicks lost 4 out of 5 to New Jersey last year. Walters with Starks on him.
This lineup is the one that beat New York earlier in the year, and Kenny Anderson is the guy that's going to have to do some of everything today in order for this lineup to prevail because they're not playing with a lot of confidence.
Anderson starts things off with a 3. Benjamin stepping up on Ewing and back outside Starks for 3. So it's going to be that kind of a day, is it?
It's going to be this kind of a day for Derek Harper where he can't touch Kenny Anderson. So Anderson, if he uses his foot speed and quickness, could have Harper down or make him at least change his defensive assignment.
Anderson into the lane. 3-3 tie just underway in the first. And out of bounds off P.J. Brown.
Brown had it, and Oakley took a swipe at it, happened to knock it out of his hands, and it rolled off of P.J. Brown. So the Knicks get one of those early breaks.
Starks lost the handle, and Bonner retrieved it.
Look at the matchup inside between Ewing and Benjamin, because when Benjamin has played, Patrick Ewing has not played to the numbers or the percentage that he has played without Benjamin in the lineup. Benjamin is big and strong. When he's focused, he can block shots. He can also use his body, get Ewing off the block.
Oakley for Bonner on the baseline, who couldn't convert, and the foul will go the other way. First on Patrick Ewing.
The Knicks are hacking and swiping at a lot of balls, and they finally get a call against them. Patrick Ewing picks up the foul. That's the last guy that Riley wants to see get cheap fouls early.
Anderson.
That's 2 times Kenny Anderson's been right at point-blank range. He's got to convert on those. If he does, he keeps Derek Harper on his back and gives him fits.
What an offensive rebound and put back by Patrick Ewing. And the Knicks lead by 2. Perhaps the bad omen for New Jersey early on is that Kenny Anderson has taken all of their shots so far. Here's one from someone other than Anderson, and Brown can't hit. Benoit Benjamin.
New Jersey's a good rebounding team, so even when they miss, they're going to have chances to throw it back up in the air. But you know that Kenny's not going to be able to take all of the shots, nor is Ewing. Nice tip, Charles Oakley.
Oakley's first basket of the day, 7-3. The Knicks have scored 7 straight after an opening 3 from the Nets, and we have a 20-second timeout.
Offensive rebounding has not really been as good for the Knicks as they'd like it against New Jersey, but this is a terrific effort from Patrick Ewing, and the foul goes in, and out of that, Butch Beard wants to talk.
Yeah, Butch Beard has had his problems with a team that has been inconsistent at best, and in fact, there have been all kinds of things said. That's Rex Walters. Take a look at what he said. It's simple. We're inconsistent with the way we practice and the way we play. The whole season's been a joke. We haven't been prepared from day one. You can point fingers in a lot of directions, and unfortunately for the Nets and their organization, Rex Walters isn't the only one who has taken the opportunity to speak out. There have been others. Look at what Jason Williams says. Mentally, there are a few of us who could play for Bellevue. I don't think Jesus could coach this team.
That's not a good sign for a coach when you got 12 different players with 12 different opinions, but it is a talented team, and when all the lights are on, this team beats anybody. Ask Orlando. They can play, and they can play at the offensive end. They get a good call for Armand Gilliam against Anthony Bonner.
There is Butch Beard, who has had a rocky first season here in New Jersey.
Rocky is being kind. It's been disastrous. I mean, this is not the same man that accepted the job with enthusiasm and with all of the hope in the world that he could take this team that won 45 games a year ago, pushed him to the 50-win plateau, and really become a dominant force in the East. Gilliam plays better, it seems, without the threat of Derek Coleman. With Coleman out of the lineup, you'll get a better game from Armand Gilliam. We've got a team in white that is the classic underachiever based on the way that they come to the game, the talent that they have.
Ewing with the turnaround over Benoit Benjamin. 9-5. Ewing has 4. Butch Beard told us yesterday he felt he has been the classic overachiever over the course of his career. The lob for Gilliam. Left-hand shot doesn't fall. Starks tracks down the loose ball, and here come the Knicks. 4 on 3.
The Knicks are a team that plays really with 3 players at the offensive end, as Benjamin and Bonner collide, and Rex Walters comes in front of us just for effect. But you're not going to get much offense out of Bonner or Oakley at the offensive end. So that means if New Jersey's really into it defensively, they can gamble off of those guys, make the Knicks more of a perimeter team, try to rebound the ball. Charles Smith, as I say, that comes in, who can score.
Charles Smith replaces Anthony Bonner, who goes to the bench with his second personal foul. 8:20 to play here in the first period. Knicks with a 4-point lead. And New Jersey cold early on. Gilliam fouled by Oakley. And a technical foul on Charles Oakley. his reaction to the call from Ed T. Rush, not what Mr. Rush was looking for.
Punched the ball, but he was beaten on that play, and he realized that he wasn't happy with the call, but he just smacks the ball right there, so Kenny Anderson will shoot the tee.
Pleading his case.
Well, you get another opportunity to see there's a clear hold. There's no question that that was a hand check or a hold, whatever you want to put that category on it. And Oakley, he had a lot to say after the technical was called.
At the free throw line, Arvin Gilliam, shoot 2.
So here's Arvin Gilliam. Gilliam misses the first in his 8th season out of Nevada, Las Vegas.
Armand Gilliam, number 2 in the '87 draft, was considered a power player at the time, but he doesn't have a power player's mentality. He's more of a finesse, 6'8", 6'9", power forward.
77% free throw shooter. He missed them both. Starks for 3. John Starks, who hits 3-pointers at a 37% clip, gives the Knicks a 12-6 lead.
Now, Starks has been throughout his career one of the great streak shooters in the league, and when he's on and he has the torch going early, you have to definitely play him at the three-point line.
Kenny Anderson on the drive, coming across the lane. The Nets' first field goal in almost 4 minutes. And Ewing across the lane, travel.
Violation, that's ball.
Kenny Anderson has been able to get inside the Knicks defense on 3 drives. He finally finishes one. Derek Harper, better remember, he's left-handed. He goes left every single time. If they get the ball to Benoit Benjamin, get him involved. They didn't really get it set up, and Kenny Anderson thought he was going to be behind. Patrick Ewing threw it away.
Anderson with a few words to Benjamin as they come back down court. Charles Smith. And P.J. Brown with a hand check down low. We'll take a break here with 6:59 to play in the first. It's the Knicks by 4. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
Catch Inside Stuff Saturday mornings on NBC.
You're not going to see the Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme here, or even here. That's because we wanted to bring you here, where we could show you our brand new.
So, Michael, what's next? Pro football?
Have you had your break today?
Well, last Thursday, the Nets' playoff chances took a hit on this play against Portland. Derek Coleman fell, sprained his shooting wrist. The Nets lost the game, and they lost Coleman for at least a couple of games. Hannah Storm is with us today, and she is with Derek Coleman.
All right, Derek, tell us about how your wrist is now. I know you heard it on Thursday. It's your shooting wrist.
I went and got an MRI the other day, and I have torn ligaments in my wrist, and I got to go back Tuesday and get reevaluated again.
The team really needs you back as they're trying to make the playoffs in that 8th spot. When do you think you'll be able to get back?
Well, hopefully I think I'll be able to come back next week, but I guess Tuesday will definitely let me know whether I'll be able to come back this year or just I'll wait till next year.
So it's possible Wednesday against the Bulls? I mean, you're talking about next year now.
Well, hopefully so I can be back against the Bulls, but reasonably I don't think so.
Is Derek Coleman not at 100% is still better than no Derek Coleman at all? At what point do you make the decision to come back?
I think you have to make a decision based on how I feel mentally and physically as well as, and probably just take my wrist up heavily and see what happens then.
Okay, a lot of people, some within the organization and a lot without, have questioned this organization's commitment to winning. Is that fair?
I think we're very much committed to winning, but, you know, as every basketball team, do we have our up and downs? I think a lot of injuries has prolonged our season this year, but we're still in the hunt for the 8th spot in the playoffs, so we're going to keep trying.
All right, hope to see you back in uniform soon, Derek. Thank you. Greg?
All right, Hannah, so Derek Coleman, and that's a bit different from the way Derek was quoted in the local newspaper this morning, the Newark Star-Ledger says, "Are you definitely out today?" He said, "Yes." "How about the next game?" He said, "Yes." They said, "How about the next game?" He said, "Yes." And in fact, they raised the specter that if Derek isn't feeling 100%, that he may choose to miss the remainder of this season. And he is critical to this team's chances to make the playoffs.
He is the horse that they need to make a difference between making it and not making it. And he has to come with the commitment that he can live with that injury, the pain that it has for him. And I think that that's why a lot of people question whether he's ever going to be the superstar that he can be. He's in a comfort zone at 20 and 10 when he needs to play bigger and harder than that.
Rex Walters hits a three for the Nets, and it's 14-11, Nick. You're certainly talking about a game in which very few players play at 100%.
Not only do you not play at 100%, but you have to play hurt. And Derek has to live with that. But, you know, Derek is not the only New Jersey Net that can go down with an injury and then have that injury take him out of the lineup for an extended period of time.
There are members of Knick management and fellow players who question whether or not Derek Coleman even wants to play at less than 100%.
Well, he's never really given everybody the idea that he's enthusiastic and passionate about playing when he's been hurt. There have been some times when he's surprised people and shown up, but on the whole, his MO is, if I'm hurt, I'm not playing.
Charles Smith, uncontested out of the corner, and Kenny Anderson grabs the loose ball, and looks like he caught an errant hand in the face. And the Nets take a 20-second timeout.
Well, they've already had a 20, so they're going to have to go to a full, and Butch Beard is not happy about that, but they do have possession of the basketball.
5:17 to play here in the fourth. 3-point New York lead.
It's coming.
We don't score. 3-on-1 break. He scores. Back the other way. Scores. Incredible.
You're kidding, right?
Wow. And after 7 overtimes, we're still tied. Looks like we're going to shoot free throws to settle this one.
We know many dinners are planned right after work, right in the car. So to help you bring home a hot, wholesome meal, we put our kitchens where it's easy to park your kitchen.
Everybody needs a little KFC.
Whoa! What's that?
Pontiac GTO.
Yeah. And that one?
69 Firebird.
You're getting good at this.
Hey, Dad, there's a Grand Am coupe. I bet it's got a 5-speed and 150 horsepower, like our sedan.
Are you a Pontiac man or what?
Yeah, and I'm going to drive a Grand Am.
Really? Which one?
A fast one.
That's my boy. Of course, I'll have to talk to your mom about this.
I'll talk to her.
The world's champion skaters shine in the greatest exhibition on ice, the World Figure Skating Championships, next Saturday at 4 Eastern on NBC.
In the center of that New Jersey huddle is Kenny Anderson, who took a finger in the eye inadvertently on this play. We talked about Derek Coleman, how he might not be a New Jersey Net forever. The same has been said about Kenny Anderson. It has been rumored that perhaps he might be headed elsewhere. Steve Jones had a chance to ask him about that yesterday.
I'm not sure. I'm torn a little bit. Not for losing reasons or, losing reasons. I'm just, I'm 24-year-old man. I'm young in my career. I have a tendency to look at a change, to see maybe a change will help, things like that. But maybe a change won't. So it's something I really have to mature and I have to do it real quick, about my decision.
Steve, as soon as the sky starts to go maybe, do you go, uh-oh?
Well, Kenny has played with some injuries, but I think that the theme that we heard yesterday, and it goes from Kenny to the coach to Rick Mahorn to anyone else, is they have to mature as a team. This is a young team. It's a very talented team, but it's a team with 12 different agendas, and you can't win if you don't have the same focus and everyone's on the same page.
Good move by Armand Gilliam in the lane, and the Nets have cut the New York lead to 1 at 14-13.
During that break, wanted the ball to get inside. He felt that the Knicks were playing too much perimeter basketball, so now they get it inside. Prior to that, it's Armand Gilliam working inside, showing you that he does have a left hand, gets a good bounce.
And then whatever the coach says, you better go out there and do. Ewing completes the three-point play, and the Knicks have a 17-13 lead. Ewing has 9 of those 17 points.
Well, the two big horses for the Knicks on the offensive end are off to a good start. That's Ewing and Starks. And New Jersey is going to have to counter with the scoring of their own. They get a good effort, that time from Jason Williams.
Jason Williams, the fifth-year man out of St. John's University. Smith facing up on Gilliam. Can't get the ball. Oakley hustles after the offensive board. Smith is open. Now passes it off for Oakley. It comes back up top.
Now he passed that off because you remember the coach just told him no more outside jumpers. He wanted that shot.
Shot clock down to 9. Ewing off balance. A couple of players hit the deck. Kenny Anderson comes away with the ball.
If the Nets are going to really have a chance to do some business, it should be in transition. Kenny Anderson missed that trying to draw a foul, but if they can get this game into an up-and-down tempo, they certainly have a better chance of putting the Knicks away. Smith.
19-15. Smith's first basket of the day. Nets have lost 3 straight, 7 of their last 8. Gilliam in the lane. And Oakley with the rebound.
Have a mismatch with Ewing against Walters.
And Rex Walters does the only thing he can do.
Good recognition that time by John Starks. He immediately realized that Ewing had a small man on his back, pull the ball back out. Now, if Jason Williams were thinking as quickly, he would have really put pressure on John Starks to make it difficult to enter the ball. But Starks, he's focused on this ball game, and you can tell from the way that he is playing early that he's into this one.
Ewing misses the first. See the outstanding season that Patrick Ewing has had this year.
Ewing doesn't talk about himself enough, but certainly he should be one of those guys considered for the MVP award this year. He's had a terrific season. You think about the number of times he's arrived late and been strong to save the Knicks in a lot of ball games. Good move, Jason Williams.
Williams taking it to the hoop. He has 4, and it's 20-17 with 2:50 to play in the first. If the Nets are looking for a little offensive help, Chris Morris is off the bench. He has been out with a strained right hamstring.
Another mismatch. They can't afford to play the pick and roll the way they are. They get a turnover.
Anderson down the lane. Got the foul and the basket.
Whenever you have a mismatch, what you want to do is take advantage of it. Jason Williams blows right by Patrick Ewing. Ewing cannot guard him that far away from the perimeter. Kenny Anderson, again, using his quickness and ability to have sleight of hand to get into the basket, finishes, and the three-point play. Anderson has 9 in the first quarter.
And we are tied at 20 with 2.5 to play. Anthony Mason has come off the New York bench.
Knicks have Ewing with Jason Williams guarding him, so you can look for the ball to come inside Hubert Davis early.
Davis, with his first basket of the day, gives New York a 2-point lead.
Now, Davis cannot guard Chris Morris on the post, and at some point, Kenny Anderson and the Nets are going to have to look to Morris against Hubert Davis.
Davis for Smith, rejected by Gilliam. From the top. Morris with the rebound and a quick outlet for Anderson, who is 1-on-3 and draws the foul.
When you go to Hubert Davis, and here he is down in here, he will get away from Chris Morris, and that's what's going to allow him to get an opportunity to shoot the jump shot. They run a couple of screens for him, and he's able to cash in. But also on that same play, they're going to have Patrick Ewing down in the hole, and the Nets are going to have to make an adjustment.
A couple of substitutions. Eric Anthony in for Derek Harper, and Rick Mahorn off the New Jersey bench.
Well, with Mahorn in the ball game, you get a guy that's not going to be afraid to throw his body around and try to intimidate. And with Ewing dominating the middle, you need that kind of force inside to try to close down the middle.
We are tied at 22. Jason Williams trying to stop Patrick Ewing and can't do it.
Not going to be able to do it because there's such a height disparity to begin with, and he can't keep him from getting the low box position.
Shot clock is at 6. Anderson. 13 for Kenny Anderson, and we're tied at 24 with a minute to play in the first. Greg Anthony.
That's where you don't recognize you got a mismatch. Mahorn was guarding Greg Anthony, and Anthony decided to take the easy way out. He should have looked to take that ball right by him.
A wild pass from Chris Morris, and the Nets turn it over.
Chris is saying, Rick, that was a good pass. Rick is saying, no, that's not a good pass. You just threw it to the basket. Nobody knew. They're still talking about it. But the idea of a pick and roll was a good one. We'll see if they come back to the same play.
Chris Childs has come off the New Jersey bench. Down low. That basket will not count. Charles Smith will go to the line.
Riley said get inside, and that's where Charles Smith is trying to open up an office, and he's able to overpower P.J. Brown for the spot. Doesn't get the shot. Foul occurred prior to that, but they're in a penalty anyway, so Charles Smith goes to the line.
That's 2 on P.J. Brown, who is also back from injury. He's missed the last 2 games with a bruised left thigh. Herb Williams into the lineup now, replacing Patrick Ewing. Here's the numbers on Charles Smith, who was tailed off after the first 28 games of the year.
Charles got off to a terrific start, but I think that one of the things that hurts Charles Smith is the pressure of trying to deliver every single night. He is a guy that needs to play in the low box, and Patrick Ewing gets that spot all the time, and he has to play outside much more than he can produce.
Butch Beard wants one last shot. We are in the last 11 seconds of the quarter. Nets down 2. Childs looking for someone to take the pass. Chris Morris steps back for the 3. The tap by Williams doesn't fall.
And the score at the end of the first quarter, New York 26, the Nets 24.
The guys we expected to carry their respective teams. 13 points total.
And growing and playing and warring and having fun and all of those things to get here. And I don't think they're going to, you know, waste the opportunity. So you don't get many walks on that platform, you know, when you think you legitimately can win. And what it's going to take is going to take a better performance that we've had during the regular season, but I think our team's capable of doing that.
Pat Riley has made no secret of the fact that he has been unhappy with his team's play from time to time, but the predominant feeling about the Knicks is that they have been overachievers under Pat Riley.
They are overachievers. You look at the teams that just sent out on the floor, nothing makes you shudder about Smith, Mason, Williams, Davis, or Anthony. And this is a chance for New Jersey really to try to get command of the scoreboard if they do a good job of shot selection, getting the offensive rebound. Credit Jason Williams with help keeping that ball alive.
Rick Mahorn with his first basket, and we're tied at 26. Anthony looking down low to Charles Smith, who is fouled from behind. Looks like that'll be Rex Walters. No, it's Chris Morris with the foul.
Down on the box, Charles Smith will always have an advantage against a player like Chris Morris, and Morris is trying to body him out. Rex Walters came down too late. One of the problems with New Jersey is they're always angry at each other. One guy is too late, you make the wrong pass, so you don't get the consistent focus and effort to help out. The last time down, Rex Walters, he was mad about something. He's now out of the ball game, but he could have been there earlier to prevent this play.
And that man has been at the helm this year, as we said, of a rocky season, Coach Beard. Gilliam with the rebound. Williams, Jason Williams, Gilliam, Chris Childs, Rick Mahorn, and Chris Morris on the floor for New Jersey. Knicks lead by 1. We're just underway in the second period.
90% of the time, if Gilliam gets it, he's going to shoot it. And if you're defending, you got to know that. This guy has been really a tear on the offensive glass. So for however minutes he plays, he's doing some damage on the board. They've got to box him off.
The Nets with their first lead since the opening moments of the game. Charles Smith.
That's where Charles Smith struggles for the Knicks. He's got to play the small forward. He's got to deliver numbers from the outside. And that's not the strong suit for him.
And Armand Gilliam gives the Nets a 3-point lead.
Good pressure by Childs against Anthony. Make him use up some clock. He goes all the way in.
Personal foul number 43, Armand Gilliam, his first team.
Armand Gilliam, 90% of the time when he gets the ball, is going to air it out. He's a black hole. But if you got somebody that knows that, like Jason Williams, and chases all the time, then you can convert. They get a nice conversion from Jason Williams. He's done a nice job since he's been in the game.
Armand Gilliam with his first personal foul, and Greg Anthony misses the first of 2. Anthony, like Armand Gilliam, a UNLV product,
I got it. Go ahead.
hits the second.
This unit that the Knicks have out on the floor is more of a defensive unit. The best offensive players are Hubert Davis and Charles Smith. Anthony Mason down on the low block if you run the plays for him. Back to Gilliam.
Gilliam. 32-28. The Nets by 4. Anthony Mason back on the floor for the Knicks.
Trying to free up Hubert Davis. His shot clock down to 5.
And out of the corner, Davis no good, and a rebound from P.J. Brown.
Oh, they missed the streaking Gilliam. He was wide open. None of the Knicks had gotten back.
P.J. Brown, open shot, no. Crashing the boards, Jason Williams, but he threw it away.
Huge effort by Jason Williams. He came from the top of the key.
32-28. The Nets in the lead. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
Michael Jordan is back when the Bulls face the Cavs. An NBA doubleheader next Sunday. The NBA on NBC is brought to you by the U.S. Army. Learn how to get an edge on life. Be all you can be. By Pennzoil, the motor oil that works like liquid ball bearings. And by Goodyear, #1 in tires.
Along with that happy family, we welcome you back to the Brendan Byrne Arena. Boy, Steve mentioned what a job Jason Williams can do on the boards. Take a look at him flying through the air on that rebound. There's been some controversy about the playing time Jason's been getting. His former team, the 76ers, are looking for him to average 19 points in minutes, and if that happens, the Sixers get a first-round pick from New Jersey. If not, Philly gets a second. Williams comes in averaging 17-4 to reach 19. Williams would have to combine points and minutes to average 28 a game over the last 11, and that's not going to happen.
Well, it's not going to happen because they're not going to let it happen. He certainly is playing like a guy that should get more minutes, and if he continues to crash the board, he'll get more points. But that's a decision that it seems management in New Jersey has made, and they're not going to allow them to lose a pick to Philadelphia.
The Knicks do not have a rebound here in the second quarter. The Nets have out-rebounded them 7-zip.
They're shooting a lot of shots from the perimeter. With this group out there on the floor, it's difficult for them to do it. Nice drive, Kenny Anderson.
Oh, Kenny Anderson, a little change of direction once he hit the lane. Anderson has 15. It's 34-28.
Now, the reason they call it basketball is because everyone wants to shoot it. And if you throw it to the wrong player, then you're not going to get a good shot. This time they get it to a guy inside, high percentage. Herb Williams cashes in.
Herb Williams, the veteran, in his 14th year. Chris Childs with a good look down low for Armand Gilliam.
Nice cut.
Williams to the baseline. Oakley tied up by Armand Gilliam. And Oakley not pleased with that call.
You'll watch Armand Gilliam. Now, nobody goes with him. Mason goes to sleep. A cut to the basket will always hurt the defense when the pass is there, and that's the best way to keep Gilliam in the game. You feed him at the offensive end.
John Starks, Anthony Mason. Now Mason is going to go to the bench. He's replaced by Anthony Bonner.
So what time is it? Jason Williams time. He just came out of the ball game. On those substitutions, they're going to re-jump. I know that Mason is not happy, and Oakley and Gilliam, they exchange saying, watch this on the jump ball. You can tell he's not happy, but he never got a chance to get into the game. You always want to have a rhythm in the game as they draw back and forth.
And we're still having a conversation.
Against New York.
Delay of game warning against New York. The tap goes to New Jersey.
He hasn't really had much of a chance to get going at the offensive end. Nice save. Back to Gilliam.
8-point New Jersey lead. Armand Gilliam with 12.
8 in the quarter, and all of them have been at close range.
Starks for 3. In and out. Anderson for 3. And Oakley outlets down court to Anthony, and Chris Childs came back to make the save.
Starks, who had made both of his three-point attempts earlier, looks like he has his third. This one goes in and out.
Came back. Kenny Anderson here. Nice move, plus he draws the foul. He had 13
points in the first half. Then it got ugly. Rick Mahorn elbows Patrick Ewing as he comes down. Seconds later, Ewing voices his displeasure, grabs Mahorn around the throat. Both players were ejected with 1:06 left in the half. Not a good scene on national television, but just before the half, this brightened things up. Kenny Anderson throws up a 3. He finished with 31. The Nets led 55-46 at the half. Third quarter, Rex Walters gets the steal. He goes all the way in, but can't get the hoop to fall. Armand Gilliam is there for the tap in. The Nets had their biggest lead at 16. But they let it slip away. Hubert Davis came off the bench to score 17 with the steal here. And the Knicks' biggest fan, Spike Lee, is getting a closer look and loving it. Anthony Mason picks off Chris Childs down and sends it over to Davis, who pulls up for another three, part of a 14-0 run. The Knicks took the lead for good, 81-79. The Nets couldn't do anything else. Starks had 26 in the game. Here's the big three. Now, Derek Harper and Benoit Benjamin were also ejected at the end of the game, but the Knicks come up with the win, 94-85.
Whatever it is, you know, every time we play this team, we can't not stop talking to them, and they can't stop talking to us. I think we ought to sit down, have tea and crumpets, and have a good conversation, because both teams get into it emotionally.
Now, as far as the Ewing-Mahorn incident is concerned, both had very different views on what happened. Ewing argued that he really didn't shove Mahorn.
It was a push. I'm not going to slap him. If I was going to do anything, I'd have punched him. See, Pat wouldn't take a punch at me. I'd find out where he lives. I'd be right at his front door waiting for it.
Meeting tonight at Madison Square Garden, Reggie heating it up. 13 points in the first quarter, 15 in the half. Patrick Ewing on his way to another huge night, 21 points in the first half.
Fourth quarter, Miller time. Reggie with 28 points. Under 2 minutes to go. The Knicks going to Patrick. Pumps, the foul, scored the basket. Knicks by 1. But it's still Miller time. Off the screen. Pacers up by 2. And in the final seconds, the Knicks go to John Starks. Exploding to the baseline, and that's it. The Pacers hold on